My name is Sheila Jimfiyebwa. I'm president for Accra Diamond Lions Club, District 418, Ghana. Diabetes is a signature cause of lions and youths around the world. Diabetes can lead to serious disease affecting the heart, blood vessels, eyes, kidneys, nerves, and the teeth. In most high-income countries, diabetes is a leading cause of cardiovascular disease, blindness, kidney failure, and lower limb amputation. It is expected to affect about 629 million in the year 2045. As Lions, our strategic objective is to reduce the prevalence of diabetes and improve quality of life for those diagnosed. Apart from screening, there's a need to educate people and throw more light on the disease.
My name is Gerard Mensah. I was 82 years old on the 21st of April this year. Professionally, I was a trained teacher. And somewhere along the line, after some studies, I had to join the bank. And I think my joining the bank, I indulged in some excesses, drinking, partying in the night, drinking, doing that. We went to the beach one day, and 2000. I felt suddenly very hungry. So I told a friend, why am I so hungry? No, I said, so do I want to eat some kinky? I think it won't be too bad. So by the way, I bought sardine and kinky and chop. But I was testing, I was doing test again. Then a friend doctor told me, no, my friend, go to the hospital tomorrow and check your sugar level. And when I went, it was very high. So I saw that, yes, I was in trouble. And to solve this problem, to intensify my regular exercises. I woke up early in the morning, walked a little bit around, I jogged a little bit, came home, did a little bit skipping and the bicycle, and that was it. In the evening before I went to sleep, I did a little bit of bicycling for a very long time. So even though I was diabetic, my sugar level was very good. 6, 7, 8 highest. Now, diabetes is a very, very disturbing disease, and you must be disciplined. Your eating habits must stop. I've done very well. When I was working in the bank, parties were too much. Drinking dips. I didn't know I was killing myself slowly. So when I realized that no, things were not as I thought, I reduced all of these things. My eating habits stopped, drinking stopped, and I'm okay. I'm 82 now, but I'm okay. I'm very confident. That can be some years more.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jacob Atiase. I'm a physician specialist, endocrinologist, and diabetologist, and the head of the National Diabetes Management and Research Center. Diabetes is a disorder characterized by high blood sugar because a hormone in the body called insulin does not work properly. That is in simple terms. We have several types of diabetes. We have the three main types are the type 1 diabetes, the type 2 diabetes, and gestational diabetes, and there are other forms of diabetes which we cannot talk about here. Type 1 diabetes largely occurs when the body produces antibodies against itself and produces antibodies against the pancreas where insulin is produced. So there are antibodies that affect the factory of insulin production. So such patients have very little insulin and they are not able to metabolize glucose, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins very well. The type 2 diabetes is slightly different. Type 2 diabetes has been described as a lifestyle disorder because the risk factors include being sedentary, not watching your diet, being overweight. So these are lifestyle risk factors that contribute significantly to type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes accounts for about 90% of all the diabetes that we have globally. What age group is affected by diabetes? Any age group can be affected by any of the age group. Of course, apart from gestational diabetes, which occurs only in pregnant women, type 1 and type 2 diabetes can affect in everybody. You can have a child getting type 1 diabetes, and indeed, most of type 1s are children, but you can have an adult who also gets type 1 diabetes because the body gets these antibodies against the pancreas. Then you can have type 2 diabetes occurring mostly in adults, but also in children. In the past, it was very rare to see a child with type 2 diabetes, but because of lifestyle changes in children, currently we are getting a lot of children also getting type 2 diabetes. And it's also the same thing: obesity, wrong diets, and sedentary lifestyles in our children. That is why type 2 diabetes seems to be on the ascendancy in all age groups across the globe. And the signs of high blood sugar include, but are not limited to, being thirsty all the time, increased thirst, drinking lots of water, passing large volumes of urine, especially at night. So they have what we call nocturia. They pass large volumes of urine at night. And then sometimes there can be weight loss. However, in type 2 diabetes, a lot of our patients with type 2 diabetes may not have any symptoms at all. So they are walking around completely fine, nothing wrong with them. When you check their blood sugar, it is extremely high. So even though the increased thirst, the important thing is to make sure that you are screening yourself and checking your sugar levels, often, to be sure that you do not have diabetes. Diabetes is associated with many complications. Most of the complications involve vessels, blood vessels. So diabetes can predispose an individual to stroke, can predispose an individual to heart attacks, can predispose an individual to what we call peripheral artery disease, meaning that the vessels in the limbs or the lower limbs do not get blood running through them very well. And so the legs, sort of die and get gangrenous and die. Diabetes causes blindness. Indeed, diabetes is the commonest cause of blindness in the world. Diabetes causes kidney disease. It is also the commonest cause of kidney disease in the world. And diabetes causes nerve damage. And so people with diabetes may not feel properly. And so, something may prick them because they are wearing wrong shoes and they may not feel it. And that can lead to ulcer formations or sores on their legs, which can eventually lead to amputations. When somebody gets diabetes, the important thing is to see a doctor. You cannot manage diabetes on your own. Your doctor will take you through what you must go through. They'll try and modify your diet. They will tell you to exercise a bit more after they have checked to make sure that your feet are healthy enough, your heart is healthy enough so that you can exercise, because lifestyle changes that prevent diabetes are the very ones also that we use to manage diabetes. So you watch your diet, you watch your weight, and you exercise. And of course, your doctor will give you medicines that will help your blood sugar come down. Type 1 diabetes is not preventable, but thankfully, type 2 diabetes may be preventable in some people. So if you have risk factors of type 2 diabetes, a strong family history of diabetes, you are obese, you have hypertension, you have other features that suggest that you are at risk of getting diabetes, then it's a good time. If you don't have diabetes, a good time to try and reduce your risk by watching your diet, by losing weight to the normal point, and by exercise. Most of us are sedentary, and sedentary doesn't mean you're lazy, but some of us, our work just predisposes. We sit for 8 hours a day behind a desk, and that makes you sedentary. So you should make time and work out. You should make time and be active. If you can walk around your office block, do so. The important thing is make sure that you don't sit for too long. Indeed, it's been said that sitting for too long has become a major risk factor for all these non-communicable or cardiovascular diseases. If you have a family history of diabetes, then you are high risk, especially if it's your first degree relative, your mother, your father, your sibling, or you have had a child, or you have had gestational diabetes in the past. If you've had gestational diabetes before, you may be normal, your sugars may be normal now, but you are high risk for getting diabetes in the future, and you must start working on yourself to reduce that risk and to prevent it. anytime is a good time to check your blood sugar. Anytime is a good time to check your blood sugar. The best time is difficult to tell, because some people can have blood sugars that are normal when they haven't eaten, and yet when they eat, the sugar becomes extremely high. So we don't mind. When we are doing screening, often they'll say fast and come. Every time is a good time to check your blood sugar. You just have to tell the person who is going to interpret it that you've eaten, so that they can, put that all into the equation to determine whether it's normal or not. It's good to talk to your nutritionist or your dietitian to give you a proper diet plan to help you manage your diabetes.